Hello and welcome to the Executive Lounge with me, Jerry Adjorlolo, where we get talking with C-suite executives to find out from them what it takes to achieve set targets for all their stakeholders. Today we come to you from Volkswagen Ghana, the first auto company to be licensed after the operationalization of the Ghana Automotive Development Policy and Program. We want to find out from them what's been the experience so far, what the brand really stands for, and its impact on our economy. So join me as we get talking on their Executive Lounge. I'm joined by Martina, Managing Director and Chairperson of Volkswagen Africa, together with Jeffrey Peprah, CEO of Volkswagen Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to you, and thank you for inviting me to your Executive Lounge.
Thanks
what
very
has
much.
taken you so long to come to Ghana? But thanks to the Ghana Automotive Development Policy, you are finally here. Tell me, what have been the inducing factors to come to Ghana?
So we think that we kind of moved as fast as we could, also now in being finally established here. The journey started in 2018. The first meetings with government officials happened, and it was and Ghana was very much thinking ahead of how do we attract an automotive industry in the country. So Ghana was probably one of the first countries really thinking in terms of getting automotive to the country, and we were the first ones engaging with the Ghanaian government to then soon sign a memorandum of understanding, an MOU as we call it, to move forward and move fast. We set up with our UML partner back then an SKD facility, a semi-knockdown facility. To kind of really move fast and quickly, and now a bit interrupted by COVID. Unfortunately, we're very proud that we have opened now our fully fledged own Volkswagen assembly facility, which happened yesterday, to be now here established as Volkswagen Ghana.
Lovely. So Jeffrey, let me come to you. Let's go back to August 2020 when the president unveiled the first set of assembled vehicles by VW in Ghana. Share with us what's been the experience from then till now.
Well, thank you for the question. I mean, with our establishment back in 2020 in August, I must say it has been a great journey up to today. Ghanaian public also show a very great appetite for our products, which I must really recommend the Ghanaian public, because with the post-COVID coming out from a pandemic, you know, people's pockets are dry, people were complaining, but I must say for the first 5 months there was a great patronage of our vehicle, and where people did not really believe we can assemble same cars that we have in Germany or in other worlds, but the quality was the same, everything was the same. So this also changed the perception of the market about the locally assembly vehicles. So to put it in short, we have really received a very good positive feedback on what we are doing, and it has been a great journey till today.
Okay, let's talk about numbers. How many have you sold so far? Which kind of markets have you sold to?
In total, what we have assembly or having our we have worked on, we had approximately 1,300 units, which we have also sold most in locally here to the market, and we recently also tried to test the export, which has been also our vision, that we're not here only for Ghanaian market, but we are focusing on also Ghana and beyond. That is, we're talking about the West Sub-Saharan Africa. So we've started exporting also to Ivory Coast, Senegal, and we're still looking to other markets we will prepare for our products. Okay. So from what we have done, we've got almost about 20% already moved to the west coast of Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Martina, as an investor, let me ask, what do you find intriguing about or interesting about our automotive development policy? What have been the challenges? What are the prospects? What can we do to make it better or enabling?
So as I said, the Ghanaian automotive policy was thinking very much ahead in terms of how to enable local industry, how to enable assembly facilities and go further. There is some steps which now need to kind of be follow up on. One is to put a tax on imported vehicles. So that's about to be gazetted. As far as I know, it's the 35% import tax to really protect locally manufactured and locally assembled vehicles. Also, we would need a ban of used cars. That's always like old used cars, sure, to increase new car demand. Because for the next steps of getting more local content, of next steps of assembly in Ghana, be it us or be it others, we need to increase now the new car demand and the new car volume. Another thing to work on is, as always, is vehicle asset financing, to provide financing to make new cars affordable, because we are tapping into a used car market currently. And what also would help, and Ghana has done the first very important steps, is improving fuel quality. Because with improved fuel quality, we are able to bring more models, more engines into the country, and yeah, with that we can also help to increase the new car demand, we think.
You talk about vehicle finance. You come from a very established market. Share with us what's been the experience in your market. What are the best practices you think we can, imbibe to make ours better?
It's not rocket science. So it's just like you need a good finance offer. You need a lease scheme. Also helps in terms of corporate customers. But there's also like different options countries really could look at, and we are even in South Africa also looking and exploring new ways of just like bringing costs of new car vehicles down, which is not cash payment. But it's not rocket science. It's just like a variety of finance offers for corporate customers, for fleet customers, for private customers.
Okay, Jeffrey, you are on the ground. Share with us what's been the attitude in terms of financing, how the banks also cooperated to make that easy for you.
No, from our finance market here, especially for auto financing, it's quite been a challenge for us, because we see that the car park of Ghana in total for new cars there's about 12,000, and what we see is most of them, over 70%, are paid cash, which is really a hard time for people in Ghana. But we see the banks, we got a high interest rate on this loan financing or car financing for the individuals or the corporates. So we have been engaging government and then also other stakeholders that how do we get this somehow subsidized or somehow also reduced. So there has been a lot of engagements going on, which government is really fully on top of these topics, that we need to look at it to have auto financing, car financing at a very low rate, which will boost the volume that we need. Because as Martina was talking about, in our advanced countries, this is there, and it's not a rocket science. I think there must be a collaboration between financing and then also government coming in to make some policies around that, because that too, whereby it can probably also subsidize the high rate down. So it's something that is going on. We've got a government also hand in it, and they are really promising that we will get this thing also ticked off.
Okay, interesting. Let's talk about the numbers. You have done about 1,300. You, as a matter of fact, are the president of the Automotive Assembly Association. Share with us, how do you intend to leverage on this market, Ghana, as a hub, and reach out to the rest of the continent, particularly the sub-region?
Good. From that case, what we've been looking at, actually, we first wrap up the guys. Let's get together as an association, because with a common voice, we think we can engage government properly. We can, and also other stakeholders. So what we have been looking at is everybody, or all the institutions, the OEMs or the partners that we have here, we work together to improve the standards And now, thanks to the policy, which is also really a very good policy, which is also preparing Ghana as a hub for the West Africa here. So what we have been doing is engaging the stakeholders, the government. I mean, thanks to the AFTA also, which is in, we know that with these policies that government have put in place will help us to prepare these vehicles as also as a very attractive competitive cost, where other countries, our neighboring countries, could also buy from us here at a very good rate, because considering logistics and all things is something that we still need to work on. Of course, we are engaging government about it, because even sending something from Ghana to Ivory Coast by road, it becomes a challenge. So these are also topics that we still engaging the government. That these member states have to look at it, and then on top of what AFTA is also doing, will help us to grow and Ghana to become what we want to see as a hub of the auto industry.
Okay.
From if I may add, from an African business perspective, like total of African business perspective, we've got now a great tool with the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, and in general that should be followed, and that's what's currently going on in many states with automotive policies, using the terms and conditions of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, the possibilities. And our vision as Volkswagen Group Africa, if I may put it like that, in the long term is really that we've got supply out of a Western African hub to all of Africa. That would be Ghana. We've got Kenya as currently our East African hub to all of Africa, and we've got South Africa as our Southern African hub to all of Africa. That of course should be accompanied by hopefully logistics which enables really free movement of goods within Africa. In the interim, we work with this hub and spoke concept as Ghana supplying West Africa, as Kenya supplying East Africa, and South Africa will still try to supply all of Africa. What is quite crucial is that within the different, let's say, hub and spokes find win-win situations for the different countries. So let's say Ghana now moves to, we supply passenger cars to Ivory Coast. Something must be in for Ivory Coast. So Ivory Coast might be the ones doing trucks and buses. So these kind of bilaterals or bigger region agreements is very important that those happen, that there's really win-win facilitated with this African Continental Free Trade Agreement. And that's where we're currently working on a political level, also together with the AAAM now, the African Association of Automotive Manufacturers, to really help to grow an automotive industry within Africa.
Lovely. I see a lot of synergy in there. Let's talk about your recent takeover of responsibility from your local assembly partner, Universal Motors. What does this move mean for the brand VW Ghana?
No, this move is also a transition. I would say also a replacement from what we started in 2022. That our commitment to Ghana government was, we as the OEM, Volkswagen, will have a full establishment in Ghana. So this is one part of it. And then the second part of it is moving also into to upscale the assembling or the operation in Ghana. So we are in a transitional move. That's where we are now. That's what you saw also yesterday. We launched our new facility owned by Ghana, VW Ghana itself. It's also some sort of a bold statement to reaffirm to the government that what we have promised to commit our investment here, this was to also lock ourselves into the investment plans that we have committed to Ghana. Yeah.
Okay, Martina, the same question. We should leave it to Ghana too.
No, that's. I mean, that's important that we as OEM also kind of state our presence in the countries, and for us it was a very important move. and to now have our own facility. We were working closely together with UML Motors.
Sure.
So that the equipment, for example, which was there, was because we knew that this move is going to happen, was already bought by us. So now we kind of finalize what we've promised also in the original MOU, that we kind of, as an OEM, take responsibility in Ghana for manufacturing, for employing people. So that's what happened now. And as soon as new car demand is increasing, we might even grow.
Talking about growth, let's talk about sustainability. The world seems to be going towards net zero, but Africa seems to be the new market for combustion engines. How does this sit within your sustainability plan?
So first of all, for us, it's really important that sustainability does not only cover the vehicle itself, but that we, in all areas of our business, try to become sustainable. So we, for example, also in our factories, we're working on zero impact factories.
Okay.
That includes measures like rainwater harvesting, which is a big thing in South Africa because we are facing water shortages. That includes also putting measures in place like solar panels to kind of go to renewable energy. So we're looking really at a full set of becoming sustainable in all areas of our business. Waste reduction when it comes to packaging. And also the transition to EV will play an important role, of course, for us in Africa. What we see currently is that there's many countries in terms of source of power still relying a lot on fossil fuels, which then takes away emissions from a vehicle if you move to an electric vehicle. But unfortunately then in the power generation it causes sometimes more CO2 than a combustion engine vehicle would do. So how I see it transitioning in Africa is first, and we'll work together with the different countries, the kind of transition into renewable energies, which is important, and all the sources are here. I mean, there's solar, or there's sun, there's for many countries hydropower. So that would be important. Starting to import electric vehicles, because currently they are still at a very high price level. And even Volkswagen, we as a group have introduced the show car of the ID.2 yesterday. That is our smallest electric vehicle. And there we target a price below 25,000 euros. But that is still not kind of a mass market African affordable electric vehicle. So we're looking into kind of the global electric vehicle from a Volkswagen perspective, to kind of then really reach the masses, or have meet a price point which is then also, as I said, affordable in Africa. But it's a very important transition. We need to grow the infrastructure, so it starts all with import first, and then you kind of create appetite to also work on the charging infrastructure. We're looking also in some African countries into the part of energy storage. Energy storage solutions, which, for example, again for us in South Africa is quite important because we face power outage quite often. So you could probably combine charging infrastructure with energy storage, which is a very interesting point. In Africa, currently we are working on 3 lighthouse projects, because there's 3 countries already having a very advanced policy in terms of moving to renewables, in terms of subsidizing electric vehicles, in terms of changing their car park. That's Cape Verde, Mauritius and Rwanda. We've got our first electric vehicles in Rwanda as e-Golf test fleet, to really also kind of see how the electric vehicles behave in an African context. And we want to move forward with this sustainability policy. I see us manufacturing electric vehicles as Volkswagen in Africa probably mid of next decade, by 2035. And in the meantime, really grow the market, grow the infrastructure, and not help, but kind of facilitate the switch to renewable energies.
Okay. Enough said about sustainability. Let's go to the economic impact. Apart from the creation of jobs, transfer of skills, what does VW Ghana's presence really bode for the economy?
Absolutely, it's going to give a positive impact for the economy. Of course, we talk about also creating jobs, where we're taking even over a full responsibility of our own assembly. Definitely, we're going to engage more young men and women into also they will acquire skill, which is a very important thing that we think the market also need. So beside creating jobs, a skill which is also going to be uplifted, because to get also people to have a more knowledge about vehicles that are now we're going to have in our country, and then as well as also to engage other things like people also getting much more well-paid, qualified jobs. This is something because it is VW is also our policy, so that we pay people what they deserve to be as an employee. So it is a part of also human rights that we also take care of people. Okay. So this is all going to be a good impact for economy. Let's also know that something that we are looking at, that the automotive coming to Ghana as well. We know that the government is also a part of the policy that component manufacturing is also coming on top of that. And with that component of manufacturing, we're really going to double up also employment numbers in the country, because if you look at the vehicle, the number of components that is used for a full vehicle, you can think about a lot of jobs that we're going to create. And with that, you will see that people are gaining, earning much more good money that can also pay taxes, and then these taxes can be also used for economical initiatives, which will be a full scale of economic upgrade. So I think our establishment in here with the policy, and of course also with the other OEMs which are coming on board, this is a game changer, and it's really a groundbreaker for Ghana per se.
Lovely. Soon to wrap up, let me just ask you my last question. Working at VW, what's the experience so far? Let's talk about local content. How many Ghanaians are in management? How many, give us an overview of the workforce.
This is really a great story that we're talking about. It's also a change of mindset.
Okay.
Back out, the story behind this, that actually at the moment we have only one expert for VW. What we have all are local people, because we believe in local content, and then that is what we also have to do to help young men and women to upskill themselves. Okay. But this comes back in a story when we started assembling here, and then pandemic came. So all our engineers that are training people had to go back to Europe, had to go back to where they came from. So then it came an idea that we need to continue our training through internet, where it was really also a transformation from technology. So we had Skypes, and we have also all the Zoom calls. These were used to train our local technicians, which I must say it was a very a good initiative that we took. And with this, we saw a great improvement. We saw also a good performance from these local men, that we could even train them online to achieve these skills to build, assembly a car. Okay. And with that, for me, it didn't really come to my mind to go and discuss about bringing more experts here. So this proves that we have more talented people, that we can train them wherever they are. So VW, our mission is we want to improve on local content, and then we will also continue to use local people.
Congratulations, you didn't waste a good crisis. Martina, you have the last word. Why should I buy a VW made by VW Ghana?
Because you get a loved brand,
okay.
The best product, good quality, German engineering, Ghanaian passion in manufacturing, and simply the best.
Simply the best. It's the people's car all over the world, now present in Ghana, thanks to the Ghana Automotive Development Policy. And thank you, VW, for accepting the challenge and responding with such speed and enthusiasm. It means a lot to us. We want to say a big thank you to Martina, Biene, Managing Director and Chairperson for Volkswagen Africa, and to you, Mr. Jeffrey Peprah, CEO, Volkswagen Ghana. We say thank you for allowing us into your executive lounge. And to you all watching us, make sure you buy a vehicle and make sure it is VW made right here in Ghana. My name is Jerry Adjorlolo, and until I come your way again, I say thanks for watching.